Sometimes connection down a little rough. We're gonna put in a few more minutes and see what happens. I saw where I think Cindy and Travis was live. They'll probably get in on something tonight. But yeah, we back for a little bit. I had some people texting me. I had to answer them and exited out. And like I said, I'm still getting used to going live on the YouTube app. Y'all forgive me on that. Finally got bundled up. Yeah, I'm back, boss. We're gonna put in a little while longer. I got geared up, and then stream cut out on me. Hey Rhino, good to see you, my friend. Yeah, usually on StreamYard I can bounce out and text or whatever, and I'm sure there's a way on here, but I just had to put in a few more times practicing. I ended up checking out. I'm ready for something to take one of these down though. Getting pretty dull. We've had plenty of fun. We have had plenty of fun, but we just hadn't had plenty of fish. Like I said, we could have caught up that mass of bluegill and fried them if we'd have been hard up. So we can't say we skunked. We just hadn't caught no catfish. Yeah, I need to. I'm gonna get me. I'm gonna hook up some. I'm gonna do a little experiment and hook up something down here. Get me a stand. That's really what I need. Just a good light stand, and where it can kind of shine the light downward toward the rods. Yeah, buddy. We still at it. We're gonna put in a couple more hours for sure. They ain't closing the gates till 10 o'clock tonight. Cool. Nah, we're just gonna stay down here till we absolutely ain't feeling like we ain't catching nothing or have to go home and get ready for tomorrow. Appreciate y'all hanging out in there with me though. Nice and cool tonight. No wind blowing really. Kind of still. So it really ain't that bad. Cool. Appreciate you coming in, Randall. There ain't a whole lot going on, man. It ain't gonna hurt my feelings if y'all flip over to somebody that's catching some fish, but you just don't never know. We're gonna keep that bait out there for a little while and see what happens. That's what I'll do. I'll flip around if there's 2 or 3 people going live. I'll flip around, try to show some love to everybody. So You know, like I said, I'm just glad y'all hang out with me and all the support. It means a lot. We ain't trying to get famous. We just like being out here in nature. You know what I'm saying? But if we could catch about 40 or 50 pound fish, that would just top it off. See that a little bit there, yeah. As long as I don't knock it off knock my light off in the water. Oh man. Watching from work. Yeah, I heard that, man. Appreciate you hanging in there with me. Not much action so far. I hate to admit it, but just hadn't been no hits. We caught a few bluegill earlier, and we got us a couple decent little hits. I think they were turtles. I had one uh, pull on some bait, and I swear I think it was a turtle. It might have been a big old fish, but we still having a blast though. I'd much rather be out here than cooped up somewhere. But yeah, it's a blessing just to be down here on the river. Hope y'all are having a good evening. Hope everybody's doing well. If everybody out there is going through stuff, we had a little head cold last week, and then a buddy of mine, they got flu and stuff like that. I know it's that time of year. I hope everybody out there is well, and if you're sick, hope you're healing up. Just got to stick together, man. That's what it's all about. But I'd like to put a big old fish on the screen for y'all. There's still a lot of time left. The only thing I got to figure out on YouTube is how to make chat stay up there the whole time you're rolling. Right now it'll show a little bit and then fade back out, which is kind of cool, but I don't have to see myself. River's dead still. We had a good rain. Um, well, pretty decent rain a couple days ago, but river's still down. We need a good week of rainy conditions for it to get up. But all bets are off. I always say I have better luck when the river's kind of moving. Fish are feeding. Catfish seems like they get out when it's rolling. When it's dead still, it's just kind of hard to pinpoint them. Uh, bank fishing, I've learned it's a different animal than when you got a boat and all the visual gear and all that stuff. There's nothing wrong with that. I'm not saying if I had the time and money, I would, maybe rig up something, but still, I just kind of like the thrill of the gamble, man. Just coming down here and throwing something out there and not really expecting nothing. That's that's the rush for me. There's nothing wrong with all the high tech stuff. The more you can use to your advantage, especially if you're like a tournament fisherman or really trying to put some numbers up and make a living out of it. But I enjoy coming down here and fishing off this old pier, man. Eric B, good deal, bro. Eric B is a good dude. I'm gonna tell y'all straight up. I've been talking to him on here for probably 3 or 4 years, and genuine nice guy. I enjoy him. Always bringing the positivity, spreading the love, man. That's what it's all about. So I appreciate you, bro. I really do. A lot of good folks out there in the community. I've got family and friends that come in here that I've known all my life. Then I've got people I've never met, and maybe some people I never will meet. But that's what's cool about it. You got folks from all different walks of life, all different states, different countries. I like having a good time. We try to keep it pretty, like I said, pretty PG in here for the most part. Sometimes we'll let loose if it's late weekend night or something. But we in here to catch some fish. He was on there for a minute and let it loose. But that's what I like. Everybody comes in here, they might be from different state or different country. And we all in here just have a good time, catch fish, chill out. Now something had that pulling on it pretty good. That was a catfish. That tells me they're biting. We'll freshen that bait up a little bit and throw it back out there. Maybe if I let him run with it, he would have hooked himself. I don't know. Oh, 2 times tonight I thought I had one hooked up. That's what I get for being cocky. Yeah, I thought I had one there, but didn't hook up. Yeah, man. That's what's up. Keep on trucking. I like that. 217 real. Appreciate y'all coming back in. Yeah, I was texting my buddy earlier and mixed up something, dropped out or something. Like I said, I'm not super tech savvy. Yep. Yeah, we like having a good time and goofing off, and I try not to be too serious, but we that's the main thing, just chilling out and having a good time, and every once in a while we hook up on a fish. Maybe we'll get in on something here in a little bit. We've had two little hits. Earlier I thought I was on one, and it was going upriver with it. Whatever it was, might have been a turtle, who knows? But I thought he was on there, and I kind of reeled down a little bit and come off. That was moving around, whatever it was. When I reeled down on it wasn't hooked up. So I'm gonna just next one that hits, I'm gonna let it dang sure get it on down, and then I'll reel him in. Usually blues will crush it. Boom, boom. Seems like seems like a big blue cat will just nail it and just rock the whole pier. But when it's still like this, I usually don't. I'm still kind of learning the ropes when the river's real still. Anytime I go fishing, I learn a little something different, and that's what I guess that's what it's all about. Eric B, I use I use circle hooks, man. All mine are circle hooks. I grew up using J hooks and different things, but the last few years I kind of I like the octopus and like the inline circle, then different shapes. These hooks I got on tonight are I got two FOAs on, and then I think I got a Gamakatsu on that other setup. Hey, John, good to see you. Thanks for coming in. Welcome in. I don't know. I can't hardly see that flag. Is that a Scotland flag? I could be way off, but all right. Good deal. I got some ancestors from over in that area. My wife's lineage just come from over that way years ago. Cheers, y'all. Good to see you. Thanks for coming in across the pond. That's a long trip. Good to see y'all. Yeah, FOA is good. I've only used his hooks and a few of the tackle. I've yet to use one of them rods, but I was fishing on a live down here a few months ago. Two stands and then I think it was stand day, and they hooked into like a 65-pound catfish on the one of the double. I think it was the double Y FOA rod, and it handled it like a champ. So I'm sure you can put them to the test too. And plus, what I have talked to Freddie, he's a good old boy. He's a very nice dude, super friendly, super cool. So I like shouting folks out that's got products out there. I'm not real picky. I just want something that will hold up to the test. Yeah, John, thank you for coming in. Appreciate it. No cats so far. We caught some little panfish, but missed one earlier. It seemed like we had one on, and maybe should let him go with it for a little bit longer. We might could have hooked up. We're gonna go with it for a little bit longer. Get a time check. 5:38. We'll be down here at least another hour. Thank you so much. I've never been to Scotland. I got a chance to go across the pond when I was in high school, and I had a good opportunity with one of the high schools. I was in school, I think 11th grade. It might have been, yeah. And I got a chance to go. We went to England, and it was really cool. I didn't appreciate it then as much as I do now, but we saw kind of that side of the world, and it was a trip. It's beautiful country over in there. I've heard Scotland is out of this world. I don't know if I'll ever get back over that way, but if I had a chance, I probably would. We're in Alabama, central Alabama. No hits on the bluegill. I figured something would have nailed it by now. Oh, cool. Yeah, we went to, I can't remember where all we went. We stayed over there about a week and it was awesome. We went to London, we went to Tintagel, we went to Stonehenge, we went to Bath, and about 3 or 4 other places. We went and saw the Magna Carta, and like I said, it was a trip. I was like 17, just a punk kid, you know. I thought it was cool, but I didn't really like soak it all in. I took a lot of photos, but I'm just a good old country boy, you know. I never been too many places, but that's always been a blessing. My mom and stepdad and a few people threw in some dough, but yeah, it was with a school program, and I was able to go. So I'll never forget that. That's cool. Got folks from all over the globe. That's what I like to see. We're in central Alabama. If you look up on a map, the Locust Fork River, that's where we are. We're about 20, 30 miles from Birmingham, Alabama. Down here in the sticks, kind of. What you'd call the country, I guess. Trying to get a blue cap or a flat. Well, let me ask you if you don't mind, do y'all do any fishing over there in Scotland? I'm sure y'all do. I know there's a lot of species of fish, but what do you fish for? Like, what's your favorite species to fish for if y'all even fish? I'm sure you do. I'm gonna swap around baits a little bit. I'm gonna put a little. I hate to do it, but I'm gonna put a little bit of that chicken on here and see what happens. Something a little scent. Little blue heron was kind of PO'd. Seemed like highly perturbed. That old blue heron sounded rough, didn't it? Made it mad. Yeah, that old blue heron flew out of there. He was squawking about something, wasn't he? I can't keep up with my chat on here. Let's see. Yes, there's a lot of fish in there. Yeah, that's awesome. Yeah, get back in. Heck, I got out of fishing there for a little while when I was a teenager. I kind of thought I was like, you know, pretty cool and all this good stuff. I wasn't into fishing and hunting like I am now. I got back into it pretty heavy about 10, 12 years ago for sure. It ain't that I didn't like it. I just was into other stuff, going to parties and getting into trouble and all that good stuff. Let me see what you got. Buddy hater. A little buddy hater would feel good out there. Yeah, it would. I don't want to get too spoiled though, man. If it was about 10 or 15 degrees cooler, I'd probably have to have a little heater. But it really ain't that bad right now, brother. That's like deer hunting. When I go deer hunting, if I build a fire or make a little heat in the shooting house, I'll pass out. I won't even be looking for deer. But sometimes you gotta have a heater. When it's like 20 degrees or less, you need one. Something rock that Uncle Lou. Something rock that Uncle Lou. Let's go check. Yeah, I'll probably get me a little heater for too long because my wife, she's tough as nails. I ain't gonna lie, but I don't want to freeze her to death when she comes down here. So I'll probably have to. I'm gonna get a little heater where the kids and her can start fishing with me a little bit. And I ain't saying I wouldn't enjoy it either, you know. Get this bad boy go. Something hit that. Something hit that with the fierceness there for a second. We'll just let it be for a little bit. See what happens. There's a little tension on it, but I don't think there's a fish for it yet. Yeah, we got a shooting house they built about 10 or 12 years ago down there where we hunt. And my folks still live down there, my dad and them. They built that shooting house. It's like 10 by 10. And it had a heater in it for a long time, a wood heater. But now they got a little propane rig, push bike. Yeah, there you go. 922. What's up? Scrolling back up, I saw you got in here, man. Appreciate you, brother. We haven't got no cats yet, but we've had a couple hits. We got some bluegill out there and some funky chicken. We giving it another hour or so. I got to get up for work in the morning and can't stay out too late. We're gonna put in a little more time. But yeah, that bike would be real nice, John. That'd be cool. I'm lucky here. I can drive my car about 100 feet from the pier, and I don't really have to walk that far. And then I can just load up my gear and put on home. I got about a 45-minute drive or about a 40-minute drive in my little car. But I can pull right down here to the water. There's a lot of great places to fish on this river. I hate to exaggerate, but we are really blessed to have awesome fishing here. We are one of the better places to fish and hunt in the country. I would say, but I might be just being partial. All right. Yeah, appreciate y'all riding with me. Y'all check in on them other channels, see if they're catching anything, 'cause we dang sure ain't. All right, Eric B. Good to see you, my man. The good man of the Lord right there. And I appreciate you, brother, for all you do. Appreciate you riding with me, man. Yeah, I try not to get too sentimental on my lives. I try to be a tough guy and all that. But being real, just being real with y'all. We We got some good folks out there. I was blessed to come up with a lot of good family and friends. I had some buddies that didn't have nobody, but I had a tons of friends and family. And if it wasn't for some of them, I wouldn't have a good place to come down here and fish. I'd have to go find somewhere on a bank or hook something up or hike, and I would do it. But I can come down here and literally just pretty much max out, relax. It's living the dream. And I'm real thankful for that. Oh yeah, that's my buddy. Good to see you, big dog. Dustin. So far, we've not got any cats, Dustin. We've got I want to fill you in. We hadn't got anything to write home about. Had a couple decent little takedowns. Well, I ain't even gonna call them takedowns. Something hit them. It could have been a turtle or just a baby fish. And then I had one instance where I had something I thought was pulling on it, but it was probably a turtle. So nothing to write home about. We caught a few panfish. If we would have been hungry, we could have kept them and fried them up. But appreciate you coming in, bro. Always good to see you, my man. Dustin, nice dude. I met him for a minute at CatCon. Super cool dude. I appreciate all he does. He's out there for all these channels, and he's always supporting folks, bringing the good energy. Super cool, man. Appreciate you. Not a whole lot of action tonight, but we're still having fun. We're gonna give it another hour or so before we hit the road. Oh yeah. Oh, sorry. Took so long to respond. Tonight we've got some uh, cut bluegill, and then I've got some old funky chicken I got on there. I found some in the freezer that I had seasoned up. It's like some basically some Jello chicken refrozen. I tried to catch a few or a skipjack earlier with no luck, and there were a few bait fish running. So far, we've had hits on the chicken and the bluegill, but nothing significant. Uh, but like I said earlier, the this river when it's really still, it's hard to catch fish off this pier. I'm not saying it can't be done. There's been a few nice ones, decent ones caught, but when I come down here and it's kind of rolling pretty steady, I'm pretty confident. I'd like to bring someone down here at that time and just put them out here catching a few. But now, when it's dead still, it can be tough. But there's a channel right over here, and it goes from about 3 feet, and it drops off to about 14 feet. And I try to throw some bait right over on that ledge, and that's where a lot of them travel in and out. There's been some good flatties caught over there over the years, but tonight we just hadn't hooked up. Still having a blast though, bro. We're gonna give it probably another hour or so and then hit the road. I'd love to stay down here all night, but probably need to get on back toward the Mikasa. I'm gonna chunk this up a little bit smaller and chunk him out there. You just don't never know, but I threw that out a little bit closer to the pier. We'll see what happens. Starting to cool off a little bit. Still not unbearably cold. It kind of feels good. Way. It's warm compared to uh, Lance and them up north. And I'm sure it ain't cool. I'm sure it ain't too warm up Kentucky and Ohio right now. We're getting about 40 degrees right here. Good night, John. Thank you for coming in. And we'll see you soon. Cheers to you. Uh, I'll be hollering at you soon. Check in with us anytime. Next time you might actually get to see a catfish. Let's see what we got here. 6:10. We'll give it about 45 more minutes. All right. Peace out. Yeah, this area of the river is really pretty chill. If you go down, well, this time of year it's all pretty chill. But if you go down um, river about 10 or 15 miles, it gets into some pretty big water. And then there's a lock system and a dam down there, power plant, all that good stuff. And that would be probably a hour boat ride from here in something like I would use. And if you got one of them fancy bass boats, you might could get there in 30 minutes, but you're gonna be cutting up. It's a good stretch of river, and I fished on it in a few places. But if you have a boat, you get some good access to a lot of deep holes and stuff. But I might try to set up a boat in the next few months. I've got a nice one at the house that was actually given to me from a good friend of the family. One, it's an older boat, but it's got a good motor and stuff. I'm gonna just try to set it up and get it back running. We can go out and do a little anchor fishing. But like I told him earlier, I'm spoiled. I come down here and get to sit on the pier and have electricity, all that good stuff. I could hook up a freaking heater down here if I wanted to. I'm just spoiled, I guess. But nah, for real, this has good internet. This got 5G right here. I got a couple bank spots upriver, and they all right, but the service is sketchy. I'm just running my mouth, killing time. Y'all talk about something if you want to. I saw where Cindy and Travis was live. I wonder if they've got in on something. Yeah, that's my dad actually rigged that up. This is this is where he likes to usually fish in the summer. He's not a cold weather fisherman, but it's like unistrut, and they just got it fastened into the structure of the pier, and then they just drilled out. He just pretty much tapped that where you could screw that monster holder into it. I don't know if that was a good visual, but yeah, he rigged that up, man. We did have some PVC pipe years ago, and I'll tell you a funny story here in a second. Yeah, there you go. Yeah, it's real cool. That was his idea. He's real. Um, he's really a good fisherman. That's who I got what little I know from him. You know, him growing up with my dad on this river, but he rigged up some PVC pipes about 5 or 6 years ago, and there's still two of them over there, and they're all right. They're like wrapped around there with like plumbing strap screwed in there. They've stood the test of time, but this was probably 3 years ago. He had his rods in here fishing in the summer. He like I said, he's a summertime warm weather fisher. Um, when it comes to bank fishing, but anyways, he went down to our neighbors for a few minutes and come back, and he noticed one of the rod holders floating down the river, and then he noticed that his I think it was a Abu 6000. It was one of his nicer rigs. It was nowhere to be seen. Whatever got on there spooled it and broke the rod holder. So after that, that's kind of when he went to this system. A little bit beefier setup. Yeah, that's nice, brother. Hey, it makes a difference. When I first, I've always been on this river fishing, but up until just like 3 or 4 years ago, literally, I didn't get into the big cat stuff. I was oblivious to what it took to really land something decent. So you got to have something that'll stand up, and I like the sound of that. That sounds pretty beefy, and there's a lot of good rod holders out there. But them are heavy duty. I think them's the monster. I don't know what series, but he ordered a few of those. And he's got a setup on that boat up there, but they live a few hours from here and come down during the summer. So during the fall and winter, there's really nobody down much at this camp. Only a few folks launch. And yeah, I'll check it out, man. I appreciate that, dude. Hey, oh, I keep saying somebody's gonna land a big hoss off this pier, and that's what you're gonna have to have. But that's bolted in those 4x4s. It would take a pretty big beast to rip that. I'm not saying it couldn't be done. Um, I've got a Mad Catz. That's that Rocky Baker signature right there, and then on the right, that's actually Muddy River. My wife's got another Mad Catz at the house, and then I've got a Uncle Lou over here. You can't see it, so it's a Duke's mixture. But yeah, that's that. I picked that up this year. I went to CatCon, man, just with money burning a hole in my pocket. I bought 4 rods, and I've been trying to wear them in ever since. I was telling them earlier though that Paula Smith, even though I haven't caught a fish on it yet, that rod just is a dream come true. That thing's lightweight, but got the backbone at the same time. But them Mad Catz, I know they can handle a hog. They're the biggest fish caught off this pier was right around. We weighed in about 36 pounds, which isn't massive, but it was pretty good for the time. But I that's back when I was not even fishing with heavy duty gear. I'm gonna try to get back up there. I might try to bring the wife and the kids to go around and stay a night. But if not, I might try to just make a day trip. I had a blast last year. It was a quick turnaround. It was kind of spur of the moment deal. I wanted to go, but I wasn't sure I'd be able to. And then at end of that week, I jetted on up there. I had a blast. A lot of good folks. I went to get some gear, but all the people I met, that was just such a blessing to me. It was so cool. People I've talked to for a few years, I finally got to meet them. Yeah, yeah, it's pretty decent. What's funny is the story behind that. I'd got into catfishing pretty heavy for a couple of years. I had some buddies that I worked with. They were starting to get into it and beefing up their tackle, And I said, well, I might need to get in the game, get some heavy line on there. So I had that one bait caster on a different rod, but other than that, I didn't have nothing set up. So I literally went to Walmart and bought a ugly stick catfish rod or whatever with the cheap Shakespeare reel, like a 4,000 series size. And I was gonna give it to my wife and let her fish with it. And before she even got a chance to fish with it, I brought it down here after work one day and put just a little piece of chicken on like a 6/0 hook. And at the end of the trip, at the end of the day, I was about to pack up, and that freaking rod just went crazy, and it held up. I had 40 pound braid on it, but if I'd have had like light line or something, it would have probably gave in. But I retired that reel after that day. It held up, but ever since then, that's what told me like a 50 or 60 probably wouldn't. It might not have. It might have smoked it. There's been some big fish caught on more moderate price gear, but I started beefing it up after that. But but the funny thing is, when I went home, I showed my wife a picture of the fish and told her I caught it on that on her rod and reel. But that's the funny part about that. There's been a 32 pound flathead landed down here. I landed about a 25 pounder, a couple 20s. I landed about a. I didn't have a accurate scale, maybe a 25 pound blue. So, but tonight we're striking out. That's how it goes sometimes. Appreciate y'all checking in, anyways. Yeah, I thought after I caught that that big blue, I thought, well, it can be done. That's what gave me the fever, for real. That's what gave me the drive to keep on trying. Once you hook into something massive on a rod and reel on a pier, that gives you a rush, man. I don't care who you are. In this river, there's nothing bigger than a big old catfish. Bass are cool. I love catching bass. I love catching crappie. I absolutely love catching panfish. And but once you hook into a big cat, it's a rush, man. And they're in here. I know stuff's getting deep, but I'm gonna go ahead and tell you this. There is a tall tale or a legendary story of a 200 pound catfish caught less than a mile up this river. I'm gonna just leave it at that. Oh yeah, yeah, Dustin. What you know me, man. I'm gonna just come down here and goof off, but if we catch one, that's just extra bonus. I appreciate y'all riding with me. It's been pretty uneventful, but credit to y'all. Y'all are good folks. Yeah, the legend of that story about that 200 pound cat was actually I didn't know nothing about it, but I read it on one of Dieter Melhorn's comments. And then another old boy that used to go to this cafe up here told me a story that back in, I think it was the early 70s, somebody caught a fish down here that they weren't able to weigh it, but they had the dimensions of it. 200 pounds seems a little far fetched, but I have seen some 80s and mm, 70s and 80s when I was younger. People would catch them on trot lines and net them. They were doing it for a living. I kind of believe in the selective harvest. I don't believe in catching and keeping nothing massive. I think unless your family's just starving, needing some food, whatever, you do what you want to with it. But if you catch a massive fish, you just gotta keep in mind how long it took for it to get that big. So anything, 7 or 8 pound I- or above, I usually chunk them back. But back in the day when I was a kid, they used to wear them big fish out, and I've seen some big ones. We're gonna probably dip out here in a little bit. Got about 20 minutes, and then I'm gonna pack her on up and hit the road. Not many, not many more bites. You could stay out here all night, and you might get something. Been pretty uneventful. But I do appreciate y'all hanging out there with me. All right. Yeah, thank y'all again. I know we've been all over the place, but we're gonna peace out here in a few minutes. I'm probably gonna just leave the camera going while I gather up some gear. Thanks again, man. Oh yeah, brother. Any day's a good day. You're able to. That's that beaver over there. I don't know if y'all heard that splash. There he comes. Yeah, any day's a good day. You can get out on Mother Nature. It's a blessing, that's for sure. The old beaver's over acting up. Where is he? I remember I was down here last year. I wasn't even going live. I was just down here fishing. And I walked over here to get my rod holder, and that sucker was about 10 foot from the bank. And he splashed that tail in the water. Oh my God, it scared the crap out of me, man. Man, we had a couple good hits on the Uncle Lou rod earlier, but just nothing took it on down. We'll leave it right there, and while we pack up, maybe something will nail it. Put the camera right back here in case something does happen. It'll be documented. I'm gonna start packing up a few items, fellas, ladies and gents. Check this light out, man. That's a bright sucker right there. Show right there. Woo. That's a good little deal. My buddy hooked me up with that. That thing is light up the world. Still figuring it out though. Oh my gosh. I'm blind. Shoot, yeah, man. Appreciate y'all hanging tough with me. We're gonna pack up and dip out in a few, but I'm gonna keep her rolling in case something gets on there. hadn't really nothing messed with that. That's kind of surprising. Turtles hadn't even hit it. That old beaver right there would scare you to death. I'm kind of used to him splashing by now, but it's so funny. The first time he did that, it scared the crap out of me. Thank y'all for hanging out with me. We're going to probably peace out, head on back north. Means a lot. Y'all just take care of each other. Take care of yourself. And hope everybody going fishing. Hope y'all get a big one next time. Like I said, it's a blessing just to be able to come down here and put in a few hours. But y'all go out there and support all them other good channels out there. I don't know who all's going live tonight or what all shows are on, but y'all be sure and support them. And we will see you next time. And we're going to get in on one of them big ones real soon. Struck out tonight. But that's how it goes sometimes. We still had a good time. 351. Yeah. Appreciate you. Thunder, appreciate you, my brother. Appreciate all you do. Dustin, appreciate you, my man. God bless y'all, and we'll see you soon. I'm going to hit the road, and I'll check in with y'all here in a little bit. Peace.